Meltzer had an interesting story in The Observer this week on what he says the plan is, or was, and possibly still is, for John Cena for WrestleMania, and why it may now be in jeopardy. It appears the plan is not for him to work another match with The Undertaker and get his revenge for what happened last year. He's not going to work with Daniel Bryan. He's not going to go for his 17th World Championship or anything like that. The plan is for John Cena to work a match at WrestleMania with Lars Sullivan, with the idea that Lars would probably debut in the Royal Rumble match, which I assume means that he would end up eliminating John Cena or injuring him or obliterating him in some way. And then it would build to a match between the two of them at WrestleMania. Well, Sullivan was supposed to wrestle a dark match on Monday, but Meltzer says he either didn't show up to the building or he did and then he bailed after suffering what he believed, or what he said anyways, believed to be an anxiety attack, which is not the same as a panic attack. I saw some people refer to it as a panic attack. They are not the same thing. R. Kelly has been having panic attacks after that Surviving R. Kelly series aired recently on TV. Good. Fuck R. Kelly. Imagine all the panic attacks he's caused other people over the years. Fuck that guy. So yes, not the same thing. Anxiety attacks and panic attacks. Now, according to the report, WWE talked to Sullivan. They talked to him about this, and everything seemed to be smoothed over, and he was scheduled to wrestle a dark match instead the next night before SmackDown went on the air. This time, not only did he not show up, he reportedly flew himself back home to Colorado. That is not good. If this is true, that is not good for him and his career. This guy spent over 5 years in developmental being groomed for this spot. He was protected by Triple H. We didn't even see him. You know how long he was down there without people even knowing he was there? I had seen the pictures of him. I had read up about him before, so I knew he was there. In fact, I'm almost positive, I mentioned the prediction show before. I'm almost positive, I want to say 2-3 years ago maybe, on one of the Sound Off prediction shows I did when I said, hey, this could be the year, you should watch out for these 3 NXT names. And I name dropped Dylan Miley because I had read up on him and I knew that he was sort of being hidden. He was sort of their little pet project, and obviously he didn't debut that year. I think it was maybe the following year when he debuted in NXT, but he's been around for a long time, and he's been very protected, and he's been, like I said, groomed for greatness here in this company. Whether or not he achieves it or not, who knows? But that's a lot of time to invest in somebody. And if he's having mental health issues, I mean, that's a serious thing. He needs to address that. But to invest that kind of time into something and have the company invest that kind of time into you and have it blow up over something like this, that would be really shitty. It would be shitty for the company, but it would be shitty for him as well, whatever you may think of him. Whatever your thoughts are about the man or his social media past and all that stuff, I would like to see him succeed or fail based on his own merits. Not some political bullshit. Not him being buried for sneezing in front of Vince McMahon or showing up late to a show, or in this case, having some kind of mental breakdown of some kind and just not being able to perform. Stage fright, whatever it may be. That's not what I want to see. I don't think that's what anybody wants to see. It kind of reminds me of Abyss, honestly, and the time he almost came to WWE in 2006. He said he had met with Johnny Ace, and Tommy Dreamer was working at the time in the office underneath Johnny Ace, and in talent relations, and he was a big advocate in trying to bring Abyss into the company. And he was told that we're going to bring you in, you're going to get a big push, we're going to debut you at the Royal Rumble, you're going to attack The Undertaker, have a match with him at WrestleMania. Dreamer said the reason it didn't happen was because Abyss got stage fright at the last minute, and he backed out. Now, Abyss denies that. He has said that, well, it was just hard for me to leave TNA. I was a loyal TNA guy, and the company looked like it was really building momentum and it was on its way up, and I couldn't bring myself to leave. But let's say Dreamer was right. And maybe he's just, maybe Abyss is embarrassed to admit it. And maybe, let's say Dreamer was right. and it was stage fright, let's say it was nerves that caused him to back out. Imagine blowing the chance for a match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania, to come into the company and immediately be put into a situation like that. You know, for Lars' sake, hopefully it's not a similar situation here now with John Cena. Although even with Cena being part-time now, I have to say, you know, I have flashbacks to the Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania 30 and how that ended. Maybe Lars did too. Maybe that's what happened.